Once upon a time, in a lush green forest filled with the sweet songs of birds and the rustling of leaves, there lived a playful and curious rabbit named Pip. Now Pip was no ordinary rabbit. He had the softest fur like powdered snow, eyes like shiny black buttons, and ears that perked up at the slightest sound. He loved spending his days digging tunnels, hopping around, and twitching his nose at all the wonderful smells in the air. But lately, something had been missing from Pip's life. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but he felt a little bored and wanted something new and exciting to happen. One sunny morning, while nibbling on a juicy carrot, Pip suddenly got an idea. He would go on an adventure into the great beyond, the vast and mysterious forest that lay just beyond his burrow. Pip's heart thumped with excitement as he set off on his grand adventure. The great beyond was everything Pip had imagined and more. Tall trees formed a leafy canopy overhead, creating a magical world of dappled light and shadows on the forest floor. As Pip hopped along, his nose twitched with delight at the myriad of scents in the air. There were earthy mushrooms, fragrant pine needles, and the sweet smell of wildflowers. It was like a symphony of aromas, and Pip felt a surge of happiness deep within him. As he ventured deeper into the woods, Pip noticed a clearing up ahead, and there, standing gracefully in the sunlight, was the most beautiful creature he had ever seen. It was a deer, with a coat as white as fresh fallen snow and antlers that reached towards the sky like branches of a tree. The deer had ears like polished amber and eyes that twinkled with wisdom. For a moment, Pip and the deer simply stared at each other, and Pip felt a strange sense of calm wash over him. Then, as if understanding Pip's admiration, the deer dipped its head in acknowledgement and turned to bound away. Pip stood mesmerized as it disappeared into the trees. With a newfound sense of confidence, Pip continued his journey. The further he went, the more alive the forest seemed. Birds sang melodies that echoed through the trees, and butterflies with wings like stained glass windows danced among the flowers. Suddenly, Pip heard a loud chattering sound and couldn't help but smile. High up in the branches of a nearby tree, he saw a group of squirrels engaged in a lively game. They were scampering up and down the trunk, leaping from branch to branch with incredible agility. One particularly mischievous squirrel, with a bushy tail and eyes that sparkled with playfulness, caught Pip's attention. Pip couldn't resist the urge to tease, and he began taunting the squirrel from below. The squirrel, taken by Pip's energy, soon dropped to the ground, and a playful chase ensued. They ran around the tree, taking turns in leading the other on a merry chase. Soon, both Pip and the squirrel were breathless with laughter, and they collapsed on the soft moss, panting happily. In a moment of camaraderie, they shared a nut that they had found, and Pip knew he had made a wonderful friend. As the afternoon sun began to cast long shadows, Pip continued his adventure. He hopped over fallen logs, leaped across babbling brooks, and squeezed under thorny bushes. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature, and Pip felt a deep sense of connection with all living things around him. Then, high above him, he heard a soft, hooting sound. Looking up into the canopy of trees, Pip saw a great horned owl perched majestically on a branch. Its feathers were a tapestry of browns and oranges, and its eyes shone with an otherworldly glow. Pip couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder as he looked into the owl's wise eyes. It seemed to hold ancient secrets of the forest, and Pip felt a sudden urge to listen and learn. For a few peaceful moments, Pip sat quietly, soaking in the owl's presence. He didn't know what the owl was thinking, but he sensed a deep connection between them. Then, as if sensing Pip's admiration, the owl spread its wings and glided silently into the darkening sky. As the first stars began to appear, Pip knew it was time to head back to his burrow. He had so many stories to tell his family and friends about the amazing creatures he had met. With a heavy heart, he said goodbye to the forest for now, promising to return soon. As he walked home, he couldn't stop smiling. His heart was full of joy and gratitude for the kindness of the forest's inhabitants. The next morning, as Pip woke up in his cozy burrow, he couldn't wait to share his adventures with his family. He told them about the graceful deer, the playful squirrel, and the wise old owl. His family listened with wide eyes, and his little sister even shed a tear when he described the owl's majestic flight. From that day on, Pip was never bored again. He knew that the forest was full of wonders, and that true friendship could be found in the most unexpected places. And so, whenever Pip felt a little down or needed some cheering up, he would hop over to his friend Espero, and they would set off on another grand adventure together. As the years passed, Pip grew old, and his fur turned from pure white to a gentle grey. But his spirit remained young, and his heart was always open to making new friends. He continued to explore the forest, sharing its beauty with anyone who would listen. And whenever the animals heard Pip's stories, they, too, felt a renewed sense of wonder and joy. Now, whenever you see a playful rabbit hopping through the forest, be like Pip and keep your heart open to the magic of friendship and exploration. For who knows what kind of wondrous adventures await you just beyond the trees. Thank you for watching this delightful tale of Pip, the Curious Rabbit. If you enjoyed this enchanting story, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. Let their eyes sparkle with wonder and their hearts leap with joy as they join Pip on his heartwarming journey. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to embark on countless more adventures. Who knows what other magical tales we might share next. Until then, may your days be filled with sunshine and your heart with the warmth of true friendship. Sweet dreams.